Hey guys, it's Wes from J&W Sports and Apparel. A lot of people love what we do, and it's finally dying down, so we're going to do story time with Drew Butler.
All right. Perfect. Thanks so much, Wes. Glad to be here today in Chatsworth, J&W Sports and Apparel. I'm Drew Butler. I got a pretty good story. Year is 2009. So in 2008, Georgia lost to Georgia Tech in Athens. We were up big. They came back and beat us. That was Paul Johnson, the triple option, and they just tore apart the hedges as they usually do when they beat Georgia in Athens. So 2009, we make it to the Georgia Tech game. We're unranked at the time. Georgia Tech's top 5 of the nation. We ended up beating them that game. We never even punted in the game. Neither team punted. So all I was doing was holding for field goals during the game. And I remember saying, I'm going to get them back for what they did with the hedges, and I'm going to go into the end zone and kick up just a gigantic piece of yellow turf in the end zone. So we're celebrating. I'm in the end zone with my cleats just digging up this gigantic piece of yellow turf, and the security guard came up to me and said, "Sir, you can't do that. Please stop." Well, Ben Jones, who's still in the NFL and very famous now, picked up that piece of yellow turf and chucked it in his mouth. And there is a picture you can find. Type in Ben Jones grass in his mouth on Google. You can see Ben Jones has got a huge, probably square of yellow turf in his mouth, and he's holding up the number 1 sign. That was probably the cleanest thing Ben Jones did that day. Ben Jones is a unique individual. So that's the impotence for that picture that has since gone viral. I kicked up that piece of dirt. Somebody told me to stop. Ben Jones said, "Don't stop," and he chucked it in his mouth. So pretty good story. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Got one of the good ones here.
I'm Candler Cook. My story is from 2011. Georgia was hosting Mississippi State, and we're warming up as a team, and Mississippi State was gathering and jumping up and down. And I don't know if they intended to or not, but they were jumping up and down right on the G at the 50-yard line. And Coach Rick's looking at the team, and he noticed a bunch of guys are looking over there, and he says, "Guys, ignore it." And about a half second later, Coach Grantham screams, "Push him off the G." And so the whole team stops warm-ups and runs over to midfield and starts just stampeding them off the G. Coach Grantham just grabs the back of Jarvis Jones' jersey so he wouldn't get hurt, pulls him out of there, and starts shouldering in along with the players. And if you've seen that scene from 300, it looked like the Spartans pushing the Persians off the cliff. There's like 105 of us. There's like 65 of them. And there's just like terror in Mississippi State's eyes as we just push them off the G. And so needless to say, that was a pretty pumped up locker room pregame. And we went on to win 24-10.
I don't think mine too much funny. I'm Brandon Smith, number 1. I could say mine was 2009. We had a thing called hazing. And if anybody know about it, it's when everybody cut the freshman hair bald head. So me being the top recruit, always talking a lot of smack junk to everybody, a little conceited and everything. So everybody wanted me. Now I held out till like the end of the day. I'm talking about they was cutting, penis in people's heads and everything. And I thought I was good, and end up letting Rashad Jones cut my hair. And Rashad, my brother, end up kind of a penis in the back of my head. I'm talking about, man, that's the worst experience I ever had. Like, and I'm still messed up to that day. Like, I need to cut it off. I'm still messed up to that day. Like, hazing. Hey, that was like one of the biggest things in college, hazing. But it was funny. It was real fun and one of the best experiences I ever had, basically.
That's awesome.
Is this a 1-round thing or?
Yo, we keep going.
Oh, we keep going. Okay, all right.
As long as y'all want to keep doing it, people don't come in. We love it.
So I don't have to push anything here.
No.
Bernard Williams, the best ever at left tackle. 90 to 94. Let me see. All mine's are kind of dirty.
It don't matter.
Okay, I think my sophomore year, the year is like 92, and we're still sharing a room. So I think it was Bill Montgomery and I in one room, and Garrison Hurst and Carlos Yancey were our suite mates. And I was using the restroom one day. You share a bathroom, and Yancey poured water on me while I was I was reading the paper on the toilet.
Oh, man.
Carlos poured water on me and got me and my paper wet. I was disappointed. Had to find a way to get back at him. I don't know if y'all ever stayed in the dorms, but we all had bunk beds. And you could take the bunk beds down and make a single bed. But under the bed, there was like a bar to like move the stuff with it. So I went in the bathroom. I took a milk carton, punched holes in it. I took a shit in the milk carton. I took that.
Man.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're recording right here. Okay. So I took that milk carton. And Garrison and Carlos can attest to this. I took that milk carton and I slid it in those little bars under their bed, and it took them probably 2 weeks to figure out what the smell was. And when they found out, they weren't happy. And we'll have to check with them. Bill Montgomery, Carlos Yancey, Garrison Hurst. They all can attest to this.
That is awesome. Wow.
Keep them going.
Wow.
Keep them going.
You got another one?
Yeah, if y'all want to do another one, it's up to y'all.
Yeah, I've got one more, a short but good one. So I was a defensive lineman, and we were meeting with Coach Rodney Garner. He's the D-line coach, great coach. He's now at Tennessee. He spent a lot of time in different SEC programs. And so it was my junior season, and there was a freshman, Garrison Smith, and he was playing pretty well. He'd been rotating in, getting a lot of snaps, and he'd been the highest graded player his first 2 games as a freshman. And Coach Garner thought that he was getting a little too big of an ego. And so we go in to watch film, and Garrison comes kind of like strutting in, got a smile on his face. And like, we lost the week before, so everyone wasn't really supposed to be that happy. And Coach Garner starts making fun of me. He's like, Garrison, you come swaggering in here, acting all tough. Your name's Garrison. And without missing a beat, Garrison stares a hole through him and goes, what do they call tough guys where you're from? Rodney? As a freshman.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
Y'all want to take a break? Take us some more? You got another one? All right, sure. They want to keep doing this, guys. Y'all are missing out of this.
No, because Brandon was talking about hazing, and I got a bunch of hazing stories.
there you go.
Great ones. So the thing used to be, you would get your hair cut, and so my roommate and I, we cut our own hair. We bombarded the door, and we cut our own hair. By the time they got in, we were already bald. So
That's hilarious.
the next part is are you the toughest? So pretty much at Georgia, there's always one guy there and another guy that comes in the freshman class from the same city. So the question always is, where are you from? And the guy says, where's he from? And you ask him, are you the toughest guy from there? And there's always some older guy from your city sitting around or whatever. So if you say you are, then you have to prove it. And so we had a guy named Bet 'em Up on the team. I forgot where Bet 'em Up was from, but he was another older guy on the team from where he was from. They asked him, where you from? I think he's from Jessup, Georgia or something like that. So you the toughest guy on the team from Jessup? He said, yes. He said, prove it. He says, I'll run to the Kangaroo. You guys remember what the Kangaroo?
Yeah.
We're on the side of the dorm, not facing the parking lot, on the street, that side, where those steps are. So that's where we're having initiations or whatever. The guy says, I said, are you the baddest one? He says, yes. I'm so bad. How bad are you? He says, I'll go to the Kangaroo and get a pack of M&Ms, butt naked.
Oh.
So we said, you can't go butt naked. You'll get yourself in trouble. Yeah. So he goes in his jock. So he goes in just his jock strap, and the kid runs. So he takes off, and he's gone. So we start back with initiations or whatever. We get about 5 or 6 guys through, and the guy comes back, and he's sweating profusely with a pack of peanut M&Ms.
He probably
And we asked him what happened. He said, I went in the store, and he said, when I came in the store, nobody saw me. He said, then the guy stood up from the register and saw me. And so, he said, I had my hand on the M&M, and the guy says, if you don't get the fuck out of here. He said he grabs the M&M the whole damn time.
I know he was scared.
Yeah. There you go.
No, that's good for now.
I don't know if I think
We'll save it. We'll do another one.
Okay, we'll do. All right, guys. Oh, he's got another one. Keep going.
So I don't know if you guys remember Coach McDuffie, Wayne McDuffie, rest his soul, one of the best offensive line coaches ever. But Coach McDuffie, we used to practice before practice. So if the first meeting you had was at 1 o'clock, Coach McDuffie would make us come at 12. And we would get to it before practice. So hard that eventually we had to pad the room. So it was a padded floor and padded walls in the room, and it was a supply room at first in the back of the facility. And everybody's wondering why the walls were padded. Well, they were padded because one day we were in doing just 1-2 pop drills, and I don't know how Mike Fredenberg hits the wall in the padded room. So he misses the bag, bam, hits the wall. He's out. Like out cold. And the next day we come in for workouts again, and Coach McDuffie has white chalked or where Freedman's body was. What's up, Mike? If you see this, man, much respect.
I ain't gonna be mad.
What? It was so funny, man. We came back here the next day, dog. Yeah, white chalk body out, man.
All right, guys. They said they're going to do some more thinking of other stories, but these was good. Come on out to J&W Sports and Apparel. It is 2:12. Y'all need to get here before 4 o'clock. I'm going to try to keep them here. 2:13. All right, you're ahead of me. Shut up. But anyway, kiss my ass. But anyway, guys, come on out and show some love to these guys. It's been fun, and I hope they keep coming out here. And we'll do story time part 2 here in just a few minutes. But come on out, get your autographs, bring your stuff, buy stuff from us. We don't care. We won't get our feelings hurt. I promise you that. But thank you guys for the ones that have came out. Go Dogs, get out here and get your signatures before we lose these guys. And I did this before. I told you I'd never get Zeus and Curious Jackson. They went bye-bye. Lad too. So you need to get out here because I don't know if I'll get these guys back. So come on out. Go Dogs. Talk to you very soon in part 2 of Storytime. Thank y'all.